Good morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you may be, as it's time for another edition of Around the AL East. Tampa Motormouth in the zone, behind the microphone, all crazy all the time. Starting off in Tampa Bay with the Rays trying to bounce back after the Red Sox splitting the two-game series. In comes the Atlanta Braves to the Trop over the team's last 25 games beginning April 21st. The Rays pitching staff has compiled a 2.83 ERA, best in the majors. The team is 17-8 in this span. Little bit of an Eastern reversal as the Yankees and Red Sox occupy the two bottom spots in the AL East prior to this month. The last time this occurred in the AL East after May 1st was September 19th, 1992. New York was 6th and Boston was 7th, so that was before all the crazy changes. So how did the Rays do tonight? Well, Tommy Hanson held Tampa Bay to 2 runs over 7 innings and got some help from Freddie Freeman and Martin Pradro, who combined for 4 hits, 3 RBIs, and 4 runs as Atlanta won the interleague opener at Tropicana Field. James Shields hung on. Ultimately 12 strikeouts for the entire Rays staff, so everyone got free pizza. Luke Scott, Elliott Johnson tried their best, just could not get it done. And there goes Game 1. Game 2 tomorrow, and it's going to be Alex Cobb up for the good guys, and Josh Nuke was sent down to Durham to make up for roster room for Cobb coming up. So, should be interesting tomorrow. See if the Rays can bounce back. Orioles soaring high over their dominion, that is the AL East. Would it continue tonight as the Orioles and Nationals met in the opener of their 3-game set in the third game of a 5-game road trip that began with the Birds sweeping 2 games in Kansas City? The Orioles have the best record in the American League and the second best record in baseball behind the Dodgers. A win tonight would move the Birds into 12 games over 500 for the first time since June 23rd, 2005, when they were 42-30. The series marks the first meeting between the clubs in which both teams have a winning record. O's would win in the nick of time as Nick Markakis solo shot in the 11th, and Baltimore gave the Nationals the Boyd for Game 1, winning 2-1. Gray gets the second win of the season. Mathis picks up his first loss, and Strop the presses. That's right, third save. Birds have won 4 in a row and are 7-3 last 10. Blue Jays soaring high in New York, already defeating the New York Yankees in both of the 2 games in their brief 2-game series, including defeating them in the series finale by a score of 4-1. Drew Hutchinson won his second straight start and has allowed just 2 earned runs over his last 12 innings pitched. Casey Janssen converted his third straight save opportunity to help Toronto capture the victory. Toronto recorded their 11th come-from-behind victory this season. Would their success continue against the New York Metropolitans? Would they continue to conquer the Big Apple? That would be a resounding yes, as the Jays pummeled the Mets. Not just beat them, not just trashed them, not just decimated them, pummeled them 14. Yes, that's right, folks, 14-5. As J.P. Arencibia ripped 2 home runs and drove in 6, while Raha Davis also went deep twice, and Yan Gnomes drilled his first major league dinger to back Ricky Romero's solid 6-inning start. The Mets' John Neese gave up 4 of the homers, allowing 8 runs in 3 innings. Romero gets his 5th win, and Neese gets his 2nd loss. An interesting fact, guess who didn't have a single RBI for the Blue Jays? That's right, that would be Double E, Edwin Encarnacion. Phew, glad the Rays don't have to play the Blue Jays. Oh wait, we do. Oof, let's hope they get all the runs out of the way. Other side of the Blue Jays-Yankees equation, Blue Jays soaring high, Yankees down low, don't you know? But tonight would host the Cincinnati Reds for a 3-game series at Yankee Stadium, the start to a 6-game homestand that includes 3 games as well versus Kansas City Royals. Of course, the Yankees did just complete a 4-game series with stops at Baltimore, 1-1 in Toronto, 0-2. Followed by this homestand, they embark on a 10-day, 9-game road trip to the dreaded Oakland, Los Angeles, and then Detroit, longest trip prior to the All-Star break. The Yankees have lost 3 straight games before tonight's game, matching their season-high skid 3rd time, have dropped 4 of their last 5 games and are 7-9 in May, still have gone 20-15 since April 9th after starting the season 0-3. Yankees are 19-4 in 2012 when scoring at least 4 runs and just 1-14 when scoring 3 or fewer, and are 17-2 when leading or tied after 6 innings, 14-2 when leading, 3-0 when tied, and just 3-16 when trailing after 6 innings. Andy Pettitte tossed 8, count 'em folks, 8 straight shutout innings, allowing 4 hits and striking out 9 to earn his first win since 2010 in his 2nd start this season. Robinson Cano, wait for it. No, I'm not going to do it. I already did it earlier, subliminal. You might have heard it. And Raul Ibanez helped him with late homers off of Bronson Arroyo, who dueled admirably. One thing I always have to ask, if a homer is late, how can you tell? And do they have a thing as early homers? And if in fact a homer is late, do they get a detention slip? Things to ask before the next game starts. Just a ponder. For those of you playing along at home with the home game so far, that's Rays with an L, O's with a W, Blue Jays with a W, Yankees with a W. So how with the B's as in the bottom of the division? Ooh, did I say that? Okay, I meant the Boston Red Sox. I'm sorry, I'm bad. I'll go to my virtual room now. Okay, I'm back from my virtual room. Strong 7, of course, for the Boston Red Sox, using the proper name, as Red Sox, as we all know, ended up winning in Tampa Bay last night. Actually, now that would be since it just clicked 12 a.m. 2 nights ago, technically. Well, last night could be 2 nights ago, so depending upon how you look at everything. So right now, we'll go with last night, even though it's now last night isn't last night, it's now night before last night. Anywho, with a 5-3 win last night at Tampa Bay, the Red Sox have now won 6 of their last 7 games, outscoring opponents 40-13 in that span. Boston pitchers are posting a 1.60 ERA over the 7-game stretch that began with a 5-game win streak from May 11th to 15th. In the standings, the Sox are in 5th place in the AL East, 6.5 games behind the first place Orioles. That still feels weird to say. This is the latest into the calendar year that Boston has stood 5th place since September of 1997. And folks, woes would continue for Boston as the Phillies scored 4 runs in the first, and Cole Hamels took it from there as he allowed just 3 runs over 7 innings, setting the stage for Jonathan Papelbon to get a save versus his former club. Hamels would get his 6th win, Bard would get his 5th loss, and Papelbon looking anything like the Papelbon of last year, Papelbon would pick up his 12th save. Have some steady competition going between the Honey Badger and Papelbon. And with the wrap-up of Boston, that'll do it for Around the AL East. Hope you had as much fun going around as I do. I sort of go around anyway. Sometimes I go around in reverse. If I go around in reverse, does that mean, in fact, I go front? Or do I go back? Or would that be backwards? Or would that be frontwards? Before I confuse myself anymore, I think I'll just sign off and say, Tampa Motormouth in the zone, behind the microphone, all crazy all the time. Give me a follow on Twitter at that Sport Shuffle thingy, and I'll see ya when I see you. Now, this is radio, technically, over the internet, so I'll hear you when I hear you, or you'll hear me when you hear me. But you get it. I'm JV. As gone.